All right, guys. So we're going to have Liza. She literally just went double diamond, and the month before she just went diamond. And so we are so grateful to have her on here. It's going to be so amazing to have some amazing, amazing tips from her. The biggest thing about her that popped out to me is that when she joined, she just asked me lots of questions and was willing to put in the work. And she never questioned what I taught her or what I had her do, but also she never questioned putting in the work with no excuses. So she was traveling, but I'll let her share her story. And literally, she's the epitome of the person that you would think wouldn't have time. They were on airplane, they didn't have service, say this, say that, whatever. But she didn't make any excuses. So share with us, let me unmute you. Share with us when you started and how long you've been in the business and just kind of like your real life story. Hold on, I made it so that you can unmute yourself.
I think I just did.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Okay, let me just start with saying I'm out of contact lenses because of the lockdown. Hello. I was gonna try to not wear them, but I couldn't see my notes, so I had to put them on. So anyways, okay, so a little about me. Christy was stealing all the stuff I was gonna say. I started the business November 20th, 2019. I was really interested in the products. First, let me back up. Christy friended me from Host to Post. I saw Host to Post on one of my friends, like Disneyland tickets. And I was like, okay, I like Disneyland. And then I was like, did the little comment, and then she friended me, and I was like, okay, she's cute. She does hair. I own a beauty salon, whatever. Vegas, I love Vegas. Let's do this. And then, so then I just started following her and just watching her. And I've always kind of been interested in health and wellness products. So I decided to start using the products. I wanted to try the coffee, and just try to just feel better. I wanted to feel better. I was just not feeling good. Was just laying around feeling bad. I had a toothache. It was a long story, but I started the products, and then I was like, oops, I want to do this business. So I was like a customer for like 5 seconds, I think 2 weeks. And then I joined the business because I wanted to make money. I honestly was tired of traveling. I own a beauty salon, and I've owned it for a long time. I've done nails for, I can't tell you because how many years, because then you'll figure out how old I am. And so I just been doing nails a really long time. And the salon, we moved far away from it, across the state, and I was traveling all the time, and every 3 weeks, and which felt like all the time. And I just didn't want to leave my kids. Honestly, I made a lot of money doing nails, but I was at the salon for 12, 15 hours a day, and I didn't want to do that anymore. Just being honest, I wanted to be with my kids. Especially didn't want to leave them and fly to Spokane all the time and all that. So I started doing the business, and this is what I was gonna say, my story, but this is what I was gonna say when we want to talk about like what we do to be successful. Just like Chrissy said, anything Chrissy told me to do, I did it. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I specifically remember asking, like right after I joined, like a couple days, I was like, saw something about team training, Zoom, something. I didn't even know what Zoom was. And I was like, can I do this? Is this like something I could do, or am I too new? She's like, no, like get on it. So I was always asking her. I was all up in the team page. I was all up in my e-suite, and I was asking her everything. Anything I saw, I felt like I was driving her crazy, but I didn't care because I wanted to figure out how to make money. So I was like, too bad. She wanted me to sign up, so she's got to deal with me asking her 5,000 questions. But seriously, that is literally what I did. Anything that she put on there, and guys, I felt like, okay, of course I had social media already. I had it for my business. I didn't have a huge following. It's not like I had people from all over the country. I had people in my area. I did nails for a long time. I had followers like that, but I didn't have like a huge following everywhere. Although I do have family everywhere. But anyway, I have a huge family. But my biggest thing that I did was when she said to do something, I figured out how to do it. I'm figuring out how to do TikTok right now, which don't look at my TikTok. funny. Actually, look at it. You'll get a good laugh. But I just did, like, the slides are hard for me. I figured it out. The, posting, I was like, oh God, okay, I'll figure it out. Let me figure out where everything is. And I spent a lot of time just, like I said, in the team page, reading everything, figuring out what I needed to do. Whenever Chrissy said do it, I did it. I wrote some notes because I feel like I'm blabbering now. I want to make sure that I just say everything.
It's your first time, girl.
Even when things didn't make sense to me, I was still listening and writing down notes, and then I would go back over it again, or I would watch day 1 again, or day 2, or whatever day. I would watch them over and over because I would get something more from it each time. And I just wasn't afraid to ask questions. That's the biggest thing. Another big thing that I remember, Christy, you always say it, but I remember this from the beginning. I remember you saying, copy the right cat. And so I was like, what is this girl doing? This, what does my page need to look like? And I really tried to make sure I was doing everything. She tells us what to do all the time. You tell us what to do, business post, this, that. But at the beginning, it doesn't make sense what she's saying. Like, you're in here, if you're brand new, if this is like your first Zoom, like, she's like, do this, do that, do this, do that. And you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. What the heck is happening? So I just would go to someone's page and I would look at it. Or, well, obviously I went to Christy's page and her page is like perfect. So whatever. But like, I would go to the leaders' pages and I would say, okay, what are they posting? Okay, this is what a business post looks like. This is what this, and so I just, basically it's really staying connected, listening, getting on team training, getting on the extra ones if she wants us. Like, I remember specifically one day she messaged me and she's like, can you be on Zoom at 7:00? And I was like, yep. There was just never a question. Unless I was on an airplane, I wasn't on, because the little airplanes that I fly to Spokane don't have internet. But I mean, I remember one of the first team trainings, I was walking through the airport with the thing on, because as soon as I got off the plane, I turned my phone on and I got on Zoom. As soon as I got off the plane, I was walking out with all my bags and I'm watching it on my phone. People were probably like, what the heck? Because I didn't have earbuds and I just had it on in the airport. So anyways, but yeah, the biggest thing is just anything that your leader, if you don't know what to do, or if you're scared, or if you're confused, ask your enroller, ask them, because they will help you. We feel like, I mean, I know this from my experience. I feel like I'm just like giving all this information to people, and it's the right information and it's what I'm supposed to be doing. But I feel like sometimes when I don't get a response, or when they're not doing it, I'm like, am I bugging them? Are they confused? And I want to help. But if you're lost, confused, or just nervous, let us know. We can help you.
I love that. So for you, I think it's funny because whenever I hear people talk first, they share this excitement and this inspiration. But really, like, you yourself, just like what Jamie said in the chat, like, you have a good work ethic. You are willing to put in the work. We could give you tips all day, but you were willing to put in the work. What month did you start? December, right?
November 20th.
Okay.
It was right before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so basically in 5 months you went double diamond. Is that right? Am I smart?
Yeah, it was like 4.5.
4.5. I'm sorry. I don't want to take that extra month from you. Okay. So, and you guys, with her, the biggest thing was that she took advantage of where she was. So she was at work. So she talked to her nail clients about the business, about the product. She talked to them. A lot of them became customers and distributors. So it's funny because sometimes people will say, well, I work. I'm like, you are so lucky because you're actually around people, And so that was like, it was a blessing, but it was also something that someone could not take advantage of that you did. And so, like Jamie said, your work ethic was absolutely there. So where do you feel like you found or, worked for most of your customers and distributors? Was it post to post? Was it in person? Was it messaging? Was it attraction marketing?
Honestly, post to post has been huge, for me the last couple months. At first, I was literally, I feel like I'm not as much now because I'm at home. Like you said, I'm not around anybody
Yeah.
right now, but I was talking to everybody about it. I was talking to every single client. They're like, oh my God, my skin's so dry. I'm like, girl, I have something for you. They're like, oh my God, this. And I was like, I got something for that too. You want this? You want that? I had something for anything that anybody was complaining about.
I love it.
Literally complain, I got you.
I love it. I
So,
love it.
so that was the biggest thing. It's just like, it was like you said, it was on my mind and I was determined. And I do believe in the products. I mean, I became a customer because I was interested in the products. And I was like, as soon as I started taking the products, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to sell the, I need to be able to give these to my friends and family. These are amazing. And so I really believe in the product, and I really take advantage of the opportunity to help people, you know, feel better, have better hair, have better nails, all the things. But definitely host to post is huge. I mean, we all know that. It's just a way to expand your market and to get more people in your circle.
Yeah, I
So
think
that's
that's
been really, really huge.
because you came from host to post, Jessica Bulliard, she came from a host to post, all just because you guys wanted product, and then you kind of started watching my
Really came from
posts.
the same host to post.
The same host to post as her?
I don't know. I mean, we're both from Spokane, and I feel like she joined sooner than I did.
That was a really lucky host to post.
Yes.
Shandy, you didn't come from a host to post. I messaged you. Trust me, I remember this. This is part of your story. But anyways, I love that, you guys, because I absolutely would not have some of these girls if I just decided, like, you guys, because host to post can be kind of busy, right? Like, we know it. We're like, well, damn, I have talked to like 20 people because this host to post today and not one of them is signed up. But you could have a double diamond coming out right there. And what I love too that you said about your story is that you started to use the products, and then you were like, oh, I could make some money because of my friends and family. But then in 4 months, you went double diamond. So, like, that's just what shows that you don't have to have these people that jump in that are saying, I'm going ambassador. It will happen over time when they start to see the vision. And I feel like that's what kind of happened with you. You were like, oh.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't do pretty much anything in my life, honestly, ever. I don't just do like half-ass, excuse the language.
You're like
I know, like doing nails, I'm kind of a big deal. I'm just gonna say.
if you could come help a sister out, I would appreciate it.
I know. I feel so bad for you guys.
But you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
For you guys, I haven't even given myself a fill.
I would have done that like
I feel bad for people. Just kidding. It's just because I'm too busy working and I don't want to stop working to do my nails.
Well, you guys, that we'll end on this to move on to the next person because we could talk for an hour. But that's a huge thing. You do nails. We are all not able to get our nails done or do nails. Imagine if you didn't have this business, you would have just lost all of your income like that.
Yep. I have that written down because I skipped over that part.
It's just like God just like works perfectly. Like, people always say in this business, you guys, you don't know what you need from this business until you need it. So it could either be too late or you could absolutely have it, whether it's income, friends, time, the right circle, just whatever it is. So that's just amazing because you didn't make any excuses, even though you didn't need the money, and now it replaced your income.
Exactly. At the time, I mean, I wanted the money because who doesn't want more money, right? We have bills. You need more money. I like to go on vacations. But then I was like, I love doing this. It's fun. It's exciting. It's making me take pictures of myself. But then it did come at the perfect time because I did not flinch when the salon was shut down. I flinched a little bit for my people that I have working there, but I told them today, I'm like, you want to sling coffee with me? I got you. So we'll see what they say.
I love it. I love it. You're like, y'all should have joined already, but it's not too late. I know. I love it. I love it. Okay. So go ahead and just mute yourself. I'm going to look for the next girl. You guys, I'm going to do Marissa and then Drew. Okay, so Marissa is going double diamond this month. She's literally like I don't want to say a stupid amount away, but she's a stupid amount away. Like so stinking close. And I'm so excited for her. She literally just went diamond. So that's a lot of bonuses. Marissa, can you, I see her. Okay. Hey. Okay.
Hey.
Everyone else is muted. All right. Okay. So you're just looking like a fine piece of booty. So just so you guys know, you've probably used or seen Marissa's results somewhere. She's lost like, I don't even know. You tell me.
90 pounds.
You guys, that's like surgery status, but she didn't have surgery. You have just freaking like all around, you just did a full, not 360, you did a 180, like physically, mentally, financially, like freaking incredible. Like seriously, incredible. You guys haven't seen her results, like you better go look her up because she's got some bomb ones. She glowed up. She glowed up her paycheck. She glowed up herself. She glowed up her hair. Okay, so share your story with us and feel free to share the nitty, the gritty, because sometimes we jump on here and we're like, and I went double diamond, and people are like, but how? But I'm a real person. I have struggles, whatever. And so feel free to share everything and anything that you want to or do not want to. But if you want to share more, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, I actually love that because I've actually been in the business for 11 months and I just went diamond in February, but it was a journey to get there. It has to do with the whole glow up, the whole shift, like all of it. So I started because I just had a baby and I was like, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom really bad. Like he was breastfed and he wouldn't take a bottle. So it was like constant guilt. Like he was like starving while I was at work all day. And so finally one day I was just like, you know what, screw this. Like I've had enough. And I like messaged Mikkel and I was like, okay, let's do it. And I watched her for 2 years, like literally 2 years. And it was always in the back of my mind. Like, and that's why when you enroll somebody, I always expect to have like that like 3 to 5 month turnaround at least, because they're going to want to watch you. And then when they do watch you, they're going to go a lot faster because they've been watching you and they see what you're doing. And that's kind of like what it was for me. But so there's a lot. When I started, I went Ruby in like a month. And I just was like going and I dived into personal development and I was like, okay, like this is my life. This is just going to change everything. And then I like kind of got comfortable with my mindset and I stopped doing the personal development. And so I was still enrolling customers mostly because I was still getting results. Like I've lost 90 pounds using the products and I was still doing all the work and stuff like that. But it was the personal development that I kind of stopped doing. So I kind of stopped promoting and stopped enrolling. And then eventually like I went through a separation and I like got buried in depression again. And then finally in like around Christmas time, when conference came about and stuff like that, I was like, I need to go. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have to get to conference because at this point I had already had to get another job again because I wasn't making a big paycheck because I wasn't doing the personal development. And so I literally got a credit card and I bought a plane ticket and a conference ticket. And I was like, I have to go. I have to be there because I need to get my mind right. And so I went to conference, not maintaining Ruby. And by the time that I left conference, it was like January was when conference was. It started in January and ended in February. But I re-maintained Ruby at conference. And then the next month I went diamond. And this month I'm going double. And like, it's just mindset, like just buried myself in personal development. And like, just within the past few months, like everything has just shifted. And I like to share the fact that it took me that long, like 9 months to go diamond, because the personal development is like so important. And I was doing all the things. I was posting, I was consistent, I was messaging, but I wasn't doing the personal development. And that is like what it takes, is just getting your mind right and having your heart fully in it.
I love that.
And yeah.
So what do you do for personal development? A couple of girls asked in the chat.
Everything. Literally everything. Like, I listen to podcasts, I listen to audibles, I read books, I do YouTube videos, I watch The Secret like at least once a week. Like, so much. Everything.
I love it. There's never too much personal development, you guys. If you're doing the work, the only thing that you can upgrade is your personal development, is your mindset, like literally. But I love that you said this, you guys, because just like Liza said, we have all the tools. You got all the stuff. Like, it's all freaking there. The actual work is all there. But if you don't have the right mindset, you can't go anywhere. You just literally can't go anywhere. So can you share just a couple of the podcasts or books or whatever? Because there's going to be a lot of new people on here that are like, what's personal development?
So right now, actually, I just finished Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I think that's what it's called. And I'm reading Sun Stand Still. I'm also reading Start With Why. I'm reading like 4 different books right now because I have to switch it up. Like, I can't just listen to one book every day because then I have to switch it up.
You get bored. You're like, okay, move on to the next one. Yeah.
Like the Ed Milet podcast. There's one, it was the MF CEO, but he recently switched the name, but I don't remember what it was. So I think I turned my camera off.
You did. Come back.
There we go. I was trying to open my podcasts, but I don't remember what he switched it to. I think you know what it is because you introduced me to it.
I have, but I don't know. I didn't know he switched the name, but yeah. Okay.
The name of it.
So let's say someone's like, okay, girl, I want to go diamond. I've been sitting at Ruby. What would you tell them to do?
Honestly, like, it kind of happened for me at conference. Just find somebody, even, and this was a big thing for me too, is like, I didn't have the support system that I needed. So I had to find the people. Like, find somebody that's not in your chart, that doesn't affect your promotions and your chart directly, and make friends with them. Like, find one of your sidelines and just make friends and find that support, because you can do it all yourself, but it's so much easier to decide when you have somebody running with you. And like, honestly, just go all in. Like, I eat chips and salsa for like every meal for a month. I'm not gonna lie. Just go all in and just decide.
I love it, you guys. I love it. It's just awesome because sometimes when like people share their tips for the first time, they're like, bro, just do it. Like that, because to be honest, after you make the decision, everything else just kind of comes. Like, it just happens. But if you guys don't know what she's meaning, basically finding an accountability sideline, because even though Mikkel's amazing, Mikkel's your upline. So sometimes you feel like, well, she just wants me to do better because it's her chart, you know? But if you find that sideline, and we know that's not you, Mikkel, she's like, girl, what you call me out for? But when you find that, like Jocelyn, she's someone I like to talk to. Sherry Lynn, they're someone I like to talk to. I'm not spending all my time talking to them, but we can bounce ideas. We can pump each other up. Like, I know there was a couple months ago where Jocelyn was like, it's like 5 days in the month, she's like, oh, I've signed 7 distributors. And I was like, oh, I need to put my big girl panties on and go harder. And so it just pushes you to go harder and to be like, no, like, you're not okay to just sit in your bubble, because a lot of the times, you guys, we have to be self-disciplined and self-motivated, and that is how this business works. But you can only do that alone for so long until you're like, oh, I'm just in this lonely bubble. So you have to be able to have that sideline also. And it's really great. Like, everybody, a bunch of our girls got accountability partners, and they're just like going for the same rank. It's good to have someone that's on the same level as you, right? So Ruby shouldn't be accountable with a double diamond, right? They're not similar in enrollments and things like that. And so ask your leader to set one up for you guys, because we did this couple weeks ago, and it's been really, really, really good. And I think they've really enjoyed it. But anyways, sorry, I could talk all day. Okay, so where do you feel like you bring in your most enrollments from? Do you have any specific messages, specific scripts, anything like that?
Honestly, like, stories and interaction and host to post, but like with customers, for instance, like show your face on your story every day. Like making your product, if you look like poop and like your eyebrows are blonde like mine and you have nothing on them, so you look like an alien, just do it anyway. Like go on your story and like let them see that you're using the products, let them see that you can't go a day without using them because you love them so much, and like just get your own results. And then on top of that, like build relationships with people. Like I love going through my stories and like interacting through messaging in the story feature, because it gets personal and like up close and in their inbox already without talking about the business or the products. Because then they're like, okay, I'm going to watch this person's story, and then they see that you are in a business but you're also a real person.
Yes, I love that. And you guys, like, some of you guys might be like, I don't want to go live. Like, bro, just get over it. It's just time. It's just time. If you want to level up, I was talking to some of my 2.0, and I was like, we're not going to lower our standards to be comfortable anymore. Like, level your shizzle up. Like, showing your face on a camera is like, imagine if you just went swimming with those people. Like, your face is not going to be cute, right? So that is a huge tip I want you guys to all implement. Show your face every single day, at least once on stories or once on live. That is like right there. If you do that, I can guarantee you'll start to sign customers and distributors. One of my new girls, you guys, well, I'm sorry, she wasn't new, but I shared this before. She had never actually shared her real life story on her stories. So she went live on her stories. Well, not live, but you know, she did a story of her talking about why she joined the business. She's not even Ruby yet, why she joined the business. And she signed a distributor from that. Imagine if every single time you went live or shared your story on your stories or on your Facebook, you signed someone from it. Would that be worth it? Would you do it? Yes, you absolutely would. Okay. So I love that. Is there anything else that you want to share that you like wrote down and you're like, oh girl, I got to share this? Besides be a obvious product of the product.
Yeah.
It can be a bunch.
So okay, so one thing that this actually is from personal experience. Do not ever be scared to ask for somebody's like credit card information and their information ever, because I was that person that was sending my shopping card links and then like they just didn't go through with it. So finally I was like, you know what, screw it, like I'm just gonna ask for their information. And 90% of the time they are either like, can I text it to you because I don't feel comfortable doing it on here, or they just send it to me. But if they don't, if they're not comfortable with it, or like they just leave me on red and don't respond, I'll wait like 20 minutes and I'll be like, hey, if you want to send me the rest of your information, I can call you at checkout for your card information. And that works like every single time.
I love that, you guys. That is actually something that we don't talk about enough, and it is golden. It is golden. My first like year into the business, I would always send in my website. Dude, I had to follow with them like 5 times in one day before they actually did it. It's not because they don't want it. It's just because they're distracted. They're lazy. We are a one-click society. One-click society. That's all we want. We want Amazon. Aaron saw something super cool on Facebook. He went and looked and see if it was on Amazon. It wasn't on there. He's like, I don't want it that bad. Like literally. So it is a mindset. It's like, it's done, you guys. It's done. Like you're already sending it. They've already made the decision. And so I love that. And you know what? Rarely do I have anybody question it. And if they do, then I just do exactly what she said, you know? So you're awesome. Those were really awesome tips because they were different. They were random little things that actually make a huge difference to seal the deal. Y'all don't even know how many social security numbers I've seen in my life. But nobody even questions it. Like, I'm just like, okay, perfect. This is what I need. And every once in a while, and I'm like, okay, you can go to my site. If they question, I'm like, oh, you can go to my site. I just do it for convenience. And sometimes they'll be like, okay, well, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll just give it to you. Like, what am I going to do with your social? What am I going to do with it? But anyways, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Marissa. Yeah, if nobody else shares that tip, Shandy, I was definitely going to talk about the couple upselling things that we're doing, as well as, something else that I literally just forgot, but I was going to write down. Okay. So sorry. Thanks, Marissa. You're a hottie. Actually, a real quick question. Somebody asked, how long did it take you to lose that 90 pounds?
10 months.
Damn. 10
And
months.
then quarantine hit, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna gain 10 back.
Fine. It's the quarantine 10. It's fine.
Yes.
Okay, did you diet?
Yes and no. Like, I don't follow any specific diet. I just try to make good choices. Like, I don't eat late at night or like eat McDonald's every day. But
Like, you
like,
don't work out.
I don't work out.
Okay. Yeah. And I love that because sometimes people are like, well, you work out. And I'm like, bro, working out doesn't make you lose 45 pounds. Like, anyways. Okay. I love that. Perfect. Hopefully that answered everyone's questions. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to go quick so I can make sure we go through everybody. Jessica, can you unmute yourself? Because I don't know what your real life face looks like. Just your picture.
Hi. Where's my face?
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. Hi. Okay. So you're a brand new diamond.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
and you earn a $15,000 bonus. That's awesome. So can you tell us who you are, about you, like, I don't know, where you live, where you come from, all the goods?
Absolutely. So my name's Jessica, obviously. I live in Northern California. I have 2 babies, a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old. Talk about hands full. I have my biggest baby, which is my husband. And I joined back in October of 19. At that point in time, we were living in my mom's spare bedroom. My husband, me, my son, and I was pregnant with my daughter. Or no, in October, she was 8 weeks old. And it was absolutely crazy. 4 people in 1 bedroom is insane. So I had been following Brooklyn for more months than I probably should have. And I said, okay, I need to try this coffee. Like, I just need to try your coffee because I'm done. I can't do this. I put on 90 pounds and I just was hating it. And so she got me signed up. I started drinking the coffee. I lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was like, I can sell this. This stuff is like magic. Okay, let's go. So I messaged her and I was like, how are you so good at what you do? And so she was talking to me about it. I think I probably asked her a bajillion questions before I actually was like, okay. And then at the end of the day, I was like, what do I have to lose? Like, I'm literally living in a spare bedroom with my entire family at my mom's house because my husband worked for the college and he's a contracted employee, so he was laid off. I'm an accountant and my hours were cut in half because my boss said they couldn't afford me full time anymore. And so in 2 weeks, we'd gone from being a $5,000 a month household to $1,200 a month. And so I said, I have nothing to lose at this point. Like, staying where I am right now will be more detrimental to my family than investing in myself and potentially failing. But then I just used that failure as my reason that I couldn't fail. The potential of failing is the reason that I was able to succeed, because I was like, okay, I can't fail. I literally cannot fail. So I did that. I started off, and right before conference in December, Jamie and Brooklyn were like, you have to go to conference. You have to go to conference. Like, you just have to go to conference. And I'm like, I can't go to conference. I'm a breastfeeding mom and we are living in my mom's house. I can't go to conference. And then all of a sudden we got our own house. And I was like, maybe I can go to conference. Maybe I should go to conference. My husband's like, are you sure you want to go to conference? You're going to have to pump the whole time. I was freaking out about it. I was like, I can't leave my babies. Finally, like, Brooklyn's like, just do it. You're going to conference. There's other moms there that are breastfeeding. You'll be perfectly fine. Let's go. You're going. Let's go. Buy your ticket. I was like, okay, I bought my ticket. She's like, okay, buy your plane ticket. I'm like, okay, I bought my plane ticket. I'm going to conference. Freaked out the entire time, guys. Like, literally the entire time. I got to conference and everything changed. Like, my life changed. I got there. I saw all the people. I started meeting people. I felt this just family team vibe everywhere you went. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is for me. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. And I told the girls, I was like, I'm going to go diamond. Like, I'm going to go diamond. Before they even announced bonuses, I was like, I'm going to go diamond. And they're like, oh, okay, then do it. I was like, I will. I'm going to. I'm going to do it. And then they announced bonuses and I was like, oh, I'm going diamond. Like, I am going to go diamond. And I got home and, you know, life happens. Life always happens, guys. It just, no matter what, especially when you're promoting. When you're promoting, life happens more than any other time in your life. So life happened, and I missed Emerald in February by 438 BV. And I cried, and I told my husband, I said, I never want to feel like this again. I don't ever want this feeling again. And so he was like, all right, well, then work harder. And I was like, okay, I'm going to. And so we just ran all of March. And my team just came in and they were so supportive. And so on the 30th, I went Emerald. On the 31st, I went Diamond. My team brought in over 800 BV in one day for me to go Diamond. And I was like, I freaked out. We were sitting there. My husband was with me. We were scrolling on the phone, waiting for it to update because it was way too close for comfort. And it finally went through. And I was like, holy cow, like we just got a $15,000 bonus. Our lives are just completely different. I make more now working from my phone than I do having 2 bachelor's degrees working as a part-time accountant. It's just crazy. It's absolutely insane.
That is freaking nuts. And I don't know why I said we haven't met, because we've totally met and we've totally talked, and I don't know why I said that. But was your hair blonde at conference?
Yeah, it was.
That's
It was
why.
like
All right.
bleach blonde.
Woo! I was like, wow, I'm actually the worst person in the world, but like, I swear she was blonde. Like, her hair's red. I'm like, I don't know a lot of redheads. Just kidding. Okay. Woo. Okay. Awesome. I was like, I'm dead. Okay. That is awesome, you guys. And I love what she said. I swear, like, life is going to happen regardless, but I swear the month you promote, like, it's going to be like, hey girl, how bad you want this? Hey, how bad you want this? And it's going to slam at you, and you're going to be like, coming out like freaking Superman, like, I want it so bad, like I'm gonna freaking make it happen. So that's, and I love how you said, like, my team, like, you guys did it together, that 800 BV, because it is teamwork, you guys. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, like, they helped you promote, because guess what, you helped them promote. And when you go double, one of them is going to go diamond or more, obviously, and everyone is just working together to promote higher, and it's just like the best feeling ever. So that is awesome, and I love that. And I love how, do you guys hear what she said? 2 bachelors, and she makes more doing this. 2 freaking bachelors. Like, light bulb. Like, that's just crazy. So how do you feel like you find your most, let's talk about distributors, because we all about DTs for the next week, or well, just for forever. But how do you find your distributors?
So I do kind of a combination. I do everything. I think you kind of have to do everything to reach different markets. So we do a lot of host to post, I message, and then some attraction marketing. So like I do my business post every day. I do a lifestyle post every day. I do a lot of interaction. I kind of try to use the algorithms to my advantage. So just messaging people like, oh my gosh, your child's adorable. Oh, where'd you get that jean jacket? My baby girl needs that. Just things like that. A lot of posts like, okay, give me your best ideas. My toddler's turning into a corn dog. I need to get some other food for him. Things to get people to just comment or message back, or to get them.
With you. Absolutely.
Exactly. So I do a lot of interacting, but so that kind of helps with that attraction marketing. But I message, we do host to post, and I grow my network like crazy, because if people aren't watching you, then if you don't get new eyes, then you're just never going to expand your business. And I grow my network expecting them to watch me for at least 3 months before they reach out or say they're interested or respond to a message. I have people I've messaged 4 times, and then finally I get this bonus and they're like, okay, I need to do what you're doing. One of my super good friends just joined the business after watching me since October, and she's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. Let's do this. And she's killing it, because the people that watch you, the longer they watch you, like they said, the better they're going to be, because they know what it takes. And it's that consistency. It's that desire. It's just getting out of your own way. You have to get out of your own way, because if you are, you're going to miss Emerald by 483 BV. And that number could be imprinted in your brain.
Well, I love that you said that too, you guys, because she didn't do necessarily anything different that previous month. It was the fact that she said, there's no way, no how I am not going diamond, that I'm missing diamond by 400 extra BV or whatever. Like, she just made the freaking decision, and that's what it is. You have to put in the hard work, but immediately you have to have that decision made. And it's the way you speak it. Like you right now, you just spoke it with like 100% conviction. Like even talking about how you felt the minute you made that decision, it was already done to you. You guys, your promotion, your next promotion has to be already done in your head, already done. And then you start to speak it like that, like just like how she did, like it's already finished, like I already did it, you know. And that just makes it flow so smoothly. It keeps the vision for your team, and it just gets everyone rocking and rolling, like you said, as a team. So when you I love that, some of your engagement, you guys, because people sometimes I'll look at people's pages and I'm like, well, your friends, you haven't grown any friends, or you have 5 likes, and that engagement is so important. So you said you reply to people's stories, you comment on their things, asking questions, stuff like that, and then you do like posts. So do you do those on like Instagram stories also, or mostly just Facebook?
I do those posts mostly on Facebook. I will sometimes put them on Instagram stories. But I mostly work a lot off of Facebook, I would say. And I've been incorporating Instagram more as I'm trying to get more followers. I think it's easier to get followers on Instagram than it is on Facebook for me personally. But I do most of those on Facebook, but they're doable on Instagram. I just noticed if I try to like make a post about it on Instagram, I don't get a ton of
Yeah, like not an actual post. So
yeah.
okay, awesome. Is there anything else that you want to share that you just like, oh my gosh, I need to share this?
I saw someone say in the comments, like, how do you get people to want to join before you've had much success? And I think a lot of that's getting loud about what you're going to do. Like I tell my girls on my team, I'm like, okay, you just started. And they're like, well, what am I supposed to post about? Like I just started. I don't have a $15,000 bonus to talk about. But I didn't have a $15,000 bonus to post about when I first started. I posted that I was getting a $15,000 bonus, but I didn't have it. But even before that stage starts, what I tell my girls, what's this going to do for you? Like, what is this business going to do for you to change your life? And talk about that until it comes true. Because as long as you continue to put your dreams, your vision, your hope out there, it's letting everyone know, hey, this is what I'm doing. And they're going to keep watching you. They're like, all right, she said this is going to pay for her braces. I'm going to watch. Okay, when's she getting braces? Oh, when's she getting, she got braces this month. Oh, this actually works. Okay, hey, tell me what you're doing. How are you doing this? Because I need to buy a new car. And so it's just kind of projecting that vision out there. And that's how you get people to say, hey, okay, I'm ready now.
I love that. Like that specific goal, you guys, even if it's small, be like, you know, this business is going to pay for my groceries and diapers, period, end of story. And then when you can post about that, that's amazing. Ask Daddy. So I love that. Yes, this is Jessica Hall. You guys, these girls are famous. They're like, who's the speaker? I love it. I love it. Okay, you're awesome, and I can't wait to see you go double diamond, because clearly you guys are just on fire in momentum. We're gonna have a lot of doubles this month, you guys. A lot of doubles. It's gonna be freaking, well, we're gonna have a lot of diamonds and doubles and triples and presidentials and all that stuff, but that's amazing. Okay, all right, thank you so much, Jessica. We'll have you on again when you go double. Okay, Drew, where's my sweet little sugar puss, Drew? You'll know what I'm talking about when you hear her talk, because that's just exactly what she is. Oh, there she is. So cute. Looking all cute and stuff. Hey.
Hi. Okay, I'm so excited.
Okay, so who the heck are you? Share all your nitty-gritty goods with us. Your story first.
Okay, so I'm super excited. So I'm Drew. I actually just promoted to Diamond last month, and I'm super excited about it. So a little bit about me is, I got my notes right here, guys. I was very prepared. So pretty much a little bit about me is I've always been a go-getter, okay? So I graduated and moved out at 17 years old from high school, and right after that, I went to school for aesthetics, for skin and makeup, because I've always had a passion of helping people and helping people feel better about themselves. Hence, this is why I'm pilling, guys. If you're wondering what's around my mouth, I just did a chemical pill, so I don't have stuff on my face. But So I whipped out school in 8-9 months. After that, my husband and we got married, my high school sweetheart, and right after that, he moved me to Utah. And I never thought I'd live in Utah. I'm from Nevada. And so he's going to school right now. And so I've always felt like that pressure that I need to support our family and just be the breadwinner. So with me going back to Nevada, I travel back and forth from Utah and Nevada, working 12, 13-hour days of clients. And so that means I was gone, more than half the time, or if not, at least half the time. So I never really got to see my husband, but it was normal, but it's what we had to do for us to get by. So that was my biggest thing, is I didn't get to see my family. If my family did stuff on the weekend, I had to miss out on that because I was also working in Utah as well. So I was go, 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 traveling, doing makeup, things like that. And then, so one day I was just browsing on Facebook and I was looking at my stories, and then Christy popped up on my stories. I don't even know how this girl got on my Facebook, guys. I think she added me from a host to post. I looked back at our messages and she messaged me in 2018. And so I just saw her story. She was talking about how she lost, over 40 pounds, 45 pounds. And I was using these products. My girlfriend was actually selling in a part of the business. She never really had talked to me about the business. I just was buying to support her, and I was a customer for a while. And I was like, okay, I'm using these products. Like, I want to get results too. So I reached out to Christy with a product question, and literally by the end of that night, I was a distributor. You guys, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't really understand the opportunity of making money, but I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing this.
This is how it went. All right, don't ever miss an opportunity. This is literally how it went. Okay, she messaged me. Her profile picture was a picture of her and her husband. So I was like, Drew, I was like, I'm not gonna answer your product question. Like, who are you? And so I opened the message, and it was typed out, and it was something about the greens. And then I voice messaged. I was like, I'll just be this nice later. It's fine. I'll answer his question. And then I voice messaged back, so nice. And then I think you voice messaged me back, or you said my husband, I don't know what. And I was like, oh, it's a girl. And then you were like, yeah, I've been using the products. I'm like, you're not a distributor? You're like, no. And I'm like, you should be. She's like, okay, tell me more. And I was like, it's only $99 to start. And you're like, okay.
So good. Oh my goodness.
Anyways, I'll start.
No, you're good. Like I said, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just feel like Christy's excitement. I was like, I don't really know what this girl talking about, but I can make money, and she's excited about it. So I'm excited about it. And so literally that night I started posting, I started messaging my people. And then I, of course, was posting, for the next 2 weeks. And I kept seeing her lives talking about conference. I don't even know what the heck conference was either, but this was 2 weeks before conference, because I literally signed up January 1st, you guys. And then 2 weeks later, I decided after that, 2 weeks before conference, I was like, I told my husband, I was like, we don't really have the money right now, but I think I'm going to be going to Florida here in 2 weeks. And he was like, what? He was like, because when I signed up, he was like, oh, this girl just trying to spend our money because I'm impulsive like that. And I told him I was going to Florida, and I had never traveled by myself, never gone across the country by myself. I'm like, I'm doing this. And guys, I went to conference, and it was like the best experience ever. I met so many amazing people. And then, so actually the funny thing is, right before conference, I went Ruby. So in that whole month, I think I signed my first month within my first 20 days. I think I signed 22 or 23 loyal customers just from posting, because I was excited about it. I didn't know a ton about the different products, but I was posting, following 31st days of posting, and went Ruby by the time I went to conference. I went to conference as a Ruby, but I wasn't doing all of the things that we're supposed to do. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about, is when we were in conference, we were all having our little powwow talking around there, and people were talking about messaging, and I'm like, oh, this girl hasn't been doing her messaging. Like, so literally as we're sitting there, I just I sent out, I think 30 messages as we were sitting there. And within the next 24 hours, you guys, I signed 2 distributors while we were in Florida. And just from sending out those messages, and I looked at Christy, and I was like, I'm signing a distributor right now. I think we were at dinner or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, now I got to teach them and all this stuff. And that was amazing, because I feel like I was learning more as I was signing distributors too. And I was just super excited about it. So that was another thing, is I sat down after we got back from conference. It was absolutely amazing. And I was like, okay, I'm going diamond. They talked about the bonuses. I was like, I'm hitting this goal. I sat down, I pulled out my 90 days to diamond checklist. I'm like, obviously I haven't been doing everything that I could. And so I sat down, And I was like, what could I change and what can I add? So I wasn't doing personal development. And also I started, of course, messaging, like I said, and I started doing personal development. And I feel like it changed my whole business. Like I said, I started signing distributors. The next month I signed 8 distributors after I started incorporating that into my routine, and just went through the checklist every single day. And it was amazing. So
You're so cute. Okay, so everyone's asking, because I know you guys, we just had like our floodgates of conference new diamonds and doubles and whatnot. And so yeah, you guys, conference is not until January again, but we always have like mini ones, obviously after the quarantine. But Drew, you are the cutest. Yeah. You guys, messaging works because guess what? If you don't ask, the answer is always no. I remember we're sitting there. You're like, I just signed a distributor. And I was like, what? You're like, yeah, I actually messaged people. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it worked. That's crazy. And it was so cute. You were like the cutest thing ever. Okay. So what is your biggest tip as far as like bringing in those customers or those distributors? Either one, whichever one's your favorite.
So probably especially with distributors, is just being consistent with my posting. So if you're excited about something, I feel like that's when I get the most interaction, because if your excitement draws excitement. If you're like going on your post like, oh, I'm just making my coffee this morning, this is what it does, people, they're not going to get excited about it. But when I hop on there and I'm like, okay guys, I made this my favorite part of the morning, I'm making my skinny fat burning coffee, I've lost this much weight off of it already just by doing this, because literally just with drinking that coffee within the first week and a half, I lost 5 pounds just drinking that for breakfast in the morning. I was still eating my pizza and my crumble cookies. So that's when I was sold on the products too, because I was like, hey, if I could eat some Little Caesars and stuff and still lose weight, like I literally went live my first time and I was so excited. And literally that night I signed another couple of customers. So just being excited about it and being consistent with it too. For example, this month I signed, especially, it wasn't just because the 2 for $49 deal. Within the first, I think like 4 days, I signed, I think 6 or 7 customers of people reaching out to me because they had been watching my posts. And it was like, okay, girl, I've been watching your posts for months now and I'm seeing all these people get amazing results. Can we get me started too? And I'm like, yeah, I'll hook you up and I can do you even better because we've got some sales going on and we can get you even more products. So I upselled that way too. And so just being consistent, I tell my story, especially with distributors, and that's like for loyal customers, just being consistent, showing results, showing that I use the products every day on my story. And then another thing with distributors, I don't know if you guys saw it today in the team page, I shared how I make my stories, how I tell my story. Just from posting on my story, I post my story on my story. I feel like I keep saying story. At least 2 or 3 times a week. And I've signed probably a good handful of my girls that I've signed are from my stories, because I'm sharing my story. I'm sharing my excitement, what this business has done for me, where it's taking me, and people end up reaching out to you for it. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Yes, you guys, we've talked about it 100 times before, but Lord, please save me if I see one more person that's saying they want to promote and they are not sharing their story. If you guys don't know what she's talking about, she shared this awesome post on the team page where she breaks it down how to share your story. Doesn't matter how new or how old you are, sharing your story. I share my story once a day on my stories. Okay, and you're right. We just saying stories all the time. So if you don't know what we're talking about, it's like the 5 or 6 slides, right? Where you're like, hey, I'm Drew. Or you could just be like, oh my gosh, like, everything changed, you know, like you pull them in. And the next one is like, you know, I was making great money, but I was working 12 hours a week, or I'm sorry, 12, that's not very much, 12 hours a day. And the next one is like, I found this business where I could make extra money. And then be like, oh my gosh, and now I'm going diamond this month and earning a $2,000 monthly income. Like, that's so simple, but it's sharing your story, you guys. She is very, very good at that. And that is so key, not just on your stories, but on your posts. So couple questions. Okay, so let me answer your question, Danielle. No, switch it up. I will use some of my same slides like every once in a while, but I won't use them like in the same month. Like I have 6 or 7, and then like twice a month I'll make a new one, and then I'll mix it in and I'll switch out some things. So what do you message for your distributors? Like what messages are you sending out? Are you sending out the one from the distributor script? If not, it's fine. You can tell the truth.
Yeah, sometimes I usually use that one, but usually I like to customize it a little bit and make it a little more personal, put a little, just like Jessica was talking about. I saw, like, with me being a dog mom, I always find people, those dog moms that I could relate to, like, oh my goodness, I have a bulldog too, so cute. Or I find other people who do skin and makeup like I do too. Hey girl, how are you? I saw you're an esthetician as well. I do this awesome business. Have you ever seen it? Or would you be interested in making an extra income? Because I think you'd be perfect at it. So pretty much like the same kind of message like that, but make it personal. Because the biggest thing, whether you're signing customers or you're signing distributors, is building that relationship for people. Because if people can't relate to you, they don't care what you're talking about because they don't feel like it's going to benefit them. So that's probably the biggest thing with that too.
Yes, I love that. And you guys, the thing with messaging, just like I loved how Jessica shared it too, is that and just like how Drew just said she's consistent with her business posts each day. You do one a day, right? Because somebody asked that question. Or do you do two?
I do one.
Okay. So she does one a day. Here's the deal, you guys. It is a full circle, okay? You are going to post each day, and then you're going to message, and then those people are going to start watching your posts, and then they're going to be the ones that sign up after they start watching you. But if you don't ask, they're not going to start watching you. If you don't message them or interact on their stuff, they're not going to start watching you. When I message, I'm not messaging honestly to sign 10 distributors today. I'm not messaging for that. I'm setting up the distributors I'm going to be signing over the next couple weeks that are messaging, that are going to start watching me now. That is how the circle is. So if you're not signing people, look at what you did a week or two ago. If you didn't send out any messages, if you weren't consistent with posting your stories, if you weren't consistent with your business posts, don't expect to make a business post today and sign all the people. You haven't given them any time to even know what you do. And I've shared it multiple times on the team page, you guys. I have been sending out like 30, 35 messages a day offering the business. And I'm screenshotting it to everybody and showing them. Half these people, they're straight up saying, oh no, I have no idea what you do. Or, oh, are you a fashion blogger? Or I'm like, I've literally had 5 people ask me if I was a fashion blogger, and I'm like, I don't even have fashion. And like 3 people asked me if I was a photographer, and I was like, oh, I definitely don't look like a photographer. So like people, you think everybody knows. You think everybody's seeing your posts. You think one post a day about the business opportunity is too much. No. It's not enough. It's not enough. People don't know what you're doing. So I love that. Okay. They had another question. Oh gosh, what was the other one? I think they just asked how many times a day you post. Okay. Crystal, you can find it by just searching her name, Drew, in the team page, and then click most recent and it'll pop up. Okay, so yeah, what's a business post? What's a business post? Drew?
What's a business post? Okay, so business post is just something super personal, but at the same time, you're offering the business. So for example, you could post a cute picture of you, your family, you working on your phone, and you could just be like, oh, I love these days where I could just sit on the couch, I just sign a customer or something like that, and just offering the business like, this is what it's done for me, and this is what it could do for you, kind of a thing for people to relate as well.
Yes, I love that. So you guys, when we say business post, we mean offering the opportunity. When we say business story, we mean offering the opportunity on your stories. If we say product post, that means offering the product, showing results. So that's kind of what all that means. So what about stories? And then I'll jump over to Brittany. So for stories, how many stories a day do you post?
How many stories a day? Oh, my stories are always be loaded up, girl. I go back and forth. I always offer the business on my stories. I always have product on there, results of the products you can get, and then also personal in between. Because if you're doing business, product, people just gonna be swiping out of your stuff, or they're just gonna click right through your stuff. So usually what I'll do is, we have it, the April daily checklist. If you guys don't have it, Christy for the whole month of April has, business story, product story, personal in between of how much to put on there too, just to keep up on there for morning and night. But usually first thing in the morning, I make sure I get up, get my business stories together, get my not my personal, the product stories I'm going to do, and then just personal in between, like personal, like, oh, I'm making dinner for my husband, or, oh, we're going on a walk in between, just to keep people's attention.
Yeah, and that's what it is, you guys. We're their TV. And so it doesn't even matter how weird or boring it is. Like, literally, try on the thing you just bought from Amazon. Try on your old clothes and just be like, I just got this shirt. Like, Who cares? People just want something to watch. I'll take random videos of my kids throughout the day just so that I can have fillers, like things that people can watch, interesting, even if it's not interesting. That is the biggest thing. Just like she said, if you do business, product, guess what? They're going to swipe right out. I can guarantee you that. Some of you guys, you're so focused on doing the things each day that you're not paying attention to how you're doing them. You're like, oh, got my business up. Oh, got my product up. Oh, got my this up. But like, you're not paying attention to how are people going to perceive that? They're going to perceive that as like, does she even have a life? Like, what does she do with herself each day? So I love that so much. And I love that you shared that we do have to share ourselves showing those personal results and those, even us just using the products in the first place. And once a day. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
Just one more thing that I wanted to share is you have to make change to receive change. So if you feel like you're not signing customers, you're not signing distributors. I know me, I'm a very hand gesture person.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm like
get me hyped up in here, Z formation. Okay, so I have a lot of people, they get super frustrated. They're like, I've been doing these things for weeks and weeks and I'm not signing anything. And so that's another thing. First thing I told you, I bring out my list. Are you doing all the things and what can you do different and what can you do better? Are you throwing in voice messages here and there so it's a little more personal? Are you making sure you're doing all the things every day? Because if you're doing the same thing over and over, you're not going to get changed. So that's the biggest thing with this is change it up here and there. If something's not working, try something new and see what's going to work better for you. So
I love that because a lot of the times we are doing all the things, but we're leaving one or two things out. Just like how Marissa said, she was doing all the things, but she didn't have the personal development. I think a lot of people forget about growing their network while they're doing all the things. So I love that so much. And you are awesome. Isn't she the cutest thing ever? She's just the cutest thing ever. Like she's one of those people where you just can't not like her because she's the cutest. Okay. Okay, Brittany. It's Brittany B. Just kidding. You can unmute
Do you see
yourself.
me?
Do you see me now?
I don't know if that's helping you.
You are helping me by unmuting so that I'm not checking
yeah,
myself. I see you, girl. Okay. Hey. Okay. So Brittany just went diamond. We are so proud of her. And she has a crazy busy schedule life, you guys. So share your story with us. Who are you?
Okay. So I'm Brittany. My story is like so weird. So Christy found me off of a Host to Post, as she did all of us, I feel like. A girl that I knew, so I'm in the military, I'm a flight medic, and a girl I knew through the military had Christy on Facebook somehow. And she hosted a post for her on who wants to lose some weight, and it was on a story. And I was like, damn, like that really works. Like I want that. So I replied to the story, and then Christy friended me and messaged me. And when she offered me the product, I texted her 2 weeks later because I was like, dude, I've lost like a lot of weight on this stuff in like 2-3 weeks. And she was like, oh, you should be a distributor. And I was like, no, that's not me. I was like, I'm not that girl. I've tried this before. And so she spent 8 months on and off messaging me.
Share with us, how many companies did you try before?
I tried 2 other companies. So I tried Pampered Chef and I tried Perfectly Posh, which nobody's ever heard of. It's a lotion company. I love their lotion. Don't get me wrong. It just was not like, it didn't work for me. The business model didn't work for me, whatever. So it didn't work. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm too busy. Like I made all the excuses. I was just like, no. And so she kept chasing me, but not like every single day. Right. And then I'm a firm believer now because of this business and everything happens for a reason. So if I have somebody that says no to the business to me, I don't even take it like harshly, because if I had joined 8 months sooner when Christy first asked me, I would not have done what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have had the why that I had. So in December, I was planning on going to paramedic school and I would have had to stop working completely to go to paramedic school. I'm already a nurse. So I was like, I'm going to take out all these loans to go to school, and how am I going to pay for anything? And so I was like, well, I thought about it for 3 weeks and I was like, maybe I should just do this. Maybe I should just do this. So I reached out and I was like, hey, there's been a voice in the back of my head. Like, can you tell me a little bit more? So I signed up in the middle of December And I feel like a lot of the stuff that like Marissa said and Drew said and Liza said, because fun fact, Liza is actually I'm under Liza. So I feel like the thing that Liza said about like, all right, like I was always up Christy's like messages and I was just like, hey, what can I do different? What am I not doing enough of? What do I need to do to make this work? Because I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I couldn't get enough of it. I was doing the checklist and I was like, this still isn't enough. And so Christy actually went through my Instagram and was like, hey, okay, so this isn't my Instagram, but if it was mine, this is what I do to it. And she screenshotted it and like marked things and was like, get rid of this, get rid of that. And so I was like, oh, okay. And she just taught me to transform my social media into, it's not that it's not like yours anymore, right? Like it's still mine, but it's your business now. That's what your social media is. Like your social media is your business. So I used to be the queen of meme posting. I'd have like 8 up every single day. And at first I was like, what do you mean I shouldn't put memes on my wall? Like, what do you mean? But I figured out a way to do that anyways. And I just put those in my story now. So I do that in between my business stories and my product stories.
Okay.
So now I just share all my funny stuff there.
Fun fact about her, you guys, I love memes too, right? But I'm like, girl, you can't be doing this every day. I know. So she took it because she doesn't have kids yet. She's not married yet, but I think we're getting pretty soon there. But
Yeah, close.
right. So at the time, like she's like, well, what do I have to do fillers? You know, and she's like, oh, my memes. So she does business, product, meme, product, business. And you know what? It works. Like we all have a way. Like it just freaking works. So I love it. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's it. So I mean, I joined and I was like ready to do it, right? So in the middle of January, I was like, what do I need to be at conference? Because everybody was just like, we're going to conference. And I was like, should I be going to conference? Is this too soon? Like, should I not be there? She was like, no, you need to be there. And so I remember sitting, oh my God, this is so weird. So I remember sitting, I had gotten off work. I hated my job at the time because I'm a nurse at a nursing home and I'm just like not about that anymore. I'm just like, I want to get out of there. So I was like, I gotta go, but I was so broke and I was like, I don't know what to do. And my boyfriend was like, you just need to go. And I was like, all right, like I need to go. And I was like crying at the dining room table because I was like, I don't know if I can afford it. And I was like, I'm gonna have to put it on a credit card. And he was like, I got you, like we're a team, like it's gonna be fine. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, are you going to conference? And I was like, I'm going to conference. And he's like, I can't hear you. Are you going to conference? And I was like, I'm going to conference. And so I went to conference and it was the best thing that I ever, like, that's probably the best thing that I could have done for this business. Like being around everybody and meeting everybody was just on a different level because now when I post stuff about people and their results, I can be like, no, literally, I've met this girl. Like I sat at a table with her and ate dinner. Like she's not just some random person I pulled off the internet. Like I know who she is. And they don't know that like I don't talk to this girl every day, but that's none of their business because I've met them anyways. So yeah, I went Ruby right before conference and then I came back and I had some massive, I think it's the thing that I struggle with the most, and like the biggest piece of advice that I can give is do your personal development and keep your mental health in check. Just because I came back from conference and for some odd reason, I just had like this total imposter syndrome where I was like, I don't deserve this. This isn't mine. Like, this isn't my life. I don't deserve this. And I remember just having like a total meltdown and having to pull myself back out of it and be like, no. And it's not like you're just going to have 1 minute or 1 day or whatever where you're like, I'm an imposter. Like, this isn't my life. Like, I don't deserve this business. It's going to happen every once in a while in some way, shape, or form. And you just like, you got to rip yourself out of it. And Drew actually ripped me out of one the other day with a video she sent me. And somebody said, find grace in where you're at. So I dug myself in a hole because I was so panicked on like, I got to get it. I got to get it. I got to get it. And then I was kind of forgetting like, okay, like I need to take a minute and just be grateful and thankful that I'm where I'm at, and I'm going to get that next one, and it's going to happen. But you just got to, I'm like a big ball of stress, and I'm just like, you just got to calm yourself down a little bit and just take a moment and find the grace in where you are right now, like right now. And then once you're like, just wrap your head around that for a few minutes. And then once you're feeling grateful for that, that is going to help you along. So the day that Drew sent me that and I watched that video, I found the grace in where I'm at, and I was like, all right, I'm getting double. I'm going to do it. And I shared, it was a post. All right, get your pens ready. I shared a post on my wall, and it said, I need 6 reviewers for April. If you could take 2 plant-based pills a day and lose an average of 31 pounds in 90 days, would you try it? I legit signed 5 customers in one day off that post. And the most important thing is I signed all 5 of those customers, not from people who commented on the post, but from people who liked the post.
Ooh!
Yep. All of them liked the post. And I like, don't know what it was. I just sat down with myself and like, I am like a hot mess right now. Like I don't have time for it. Like if you don't have time, you have the time. Like I hide in closets at work to get this stuff done. Like I do this on my pee break. Okay. Like I'm doing some stuff at like the children's hospital right now, and we're in a stand-up unit. And I was like sitting down in the corner on a stool, and I was like, I'm just going to do this today. Like I'm going to do this. And I was like, I got this. And I like posted that, and I signed 5 customers because I was looking at it. And I was like, all these people are liking this. And I was like, this lady, I know she might be interested. And I just messaged her, and I was like, hey, Renee, I saw that you liked my post about that. I took like a brief little clip from the post and was like, are you interested in trying it? And she was like, yeah, I've been wrestling with it for a while, but I think I'm ready. And I'm just like, what? So then I went through the list, and I was like messaging everybody that wasn't already a customer, you know what I mean? Or one of you guys. And I was like, hey, like I saw you liked this post, like you want to try it? And they were all just like, absolutely, I want to try your product. Like, why wouldn't I? It was great. It was great. It was amazing. And I was just like, I'm signing another customer. And my boyfriend was like, what do you mean? That's like 5 in one day. And I was like, I know. Who am I?
I just love you. Okay, guys, that's a huge, okay, we'll have her share the post afterwards, but that is what I love, because you find these little tidbits, like just one little thing, just like what Drew said, like just one little shift, just one little secret that nobody's keeping from you, but you just haven't applied it yet, right? Message the people who like your freaking post.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
it was amazing.
Okay, you guys, I love this too. I love having her on here because not only did she just promote, but a lot of the times we have people that are like triple and presidential, and they've already retired, and they're like, I was working and I was so busy. And you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. But like, she's doing it right now. So tell us your life right now. Like, you just kind of share like your hours and stuff, because I want you guys to see like your excuse, like, sorry, not gonna work.
So in the 4.5 months that it's 4. I don't know. What year is it? When I first joined, it was a nightmare at the place I was working. I was working 60 plus hours a week. It was awful. I was miserable. And then with the business, I was able to cut down to 2 days a week. But on those 2 days, I do work doubles. So and I'm in school still because I have to finish out the semester so I don't lose a bunch of credits. Because when I went to conference, I was like, I'm going to be that girl that makes $5,000 to $10,000 a month from my phone. F going to paramedic school. I'm not running around in the streets anymore. So I was like, I got to replace my income. So I've been able to cut down to 2 days. So on Tuesdays, I do a 16.5-hour shift, and nobody shows up on time for work. So I'm there for like 17 hours. So I'm there for 17 hours. The next day I'm in school all day, now online because Corona. And then Thursday I work another double. And then Thursday night after I work my double, I drive 2.5 hours to my boyfriend's house and spend the entire weekend there. And then Monday night I listen to our Zooms and I drive back. So I was doing that for a few months. And then I'm in the military, and I actually got state activated. So the past 2 weeks has been a total mess of, I went from being like, I volunteered and they were like, okay, we don't know what your schedule is. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know what my schedule is? And we're like, we don't know. So like first 5 days I was like 8-hour shifts, and then I was put on like a rotating 12-hour shift schedule, and then they changed that and they put us back on 8-hour shifts, and now they've swapped us again to like a different schedule. And it's just been like absolutely nuts, where I'm like, I don't know what days I have off anymore. And I don't like, I found out tonight where and when I'm going tomorrow morning. So it's just like, I have no idea. And being busy is the best time to do this business, because you don't have another option. So on the days that I have off, I'm not great with time management. Like my boyfriend yells at me and he's like, go do your stuff. And I'm like, it's not even that, like, what do you mean? And he's like, it's 2:30. And I'm like, oh, you're right, it is. But like, if you work all day or you're busy, just, you got to find the time. So like, I'll preset stuff up, or I'll hide in a closet for 10 minutes, which probably makes me a bad nurse, but my patients are safe. You know, like, I'm not making bad errors. My patients are safe. It's fine. Like, yes, I am posting my stories from the toilet when I'm working. Now you all know my secrets. Like, I do clean my phone for all you other nurses out there. You're all just like, ooh.
I love it. Well,
Bathroom.
you guys not like love her energy? Like, I just love it. And you know what? The biggest thing about you is like, I was like, okay, like one foot in, one foot out. And then you just like sent me this voice message one day and you're like, hey girl, I just want you to know that I'm all in and I'm going diamond. And and thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk. And I was like, oh, hi, welcome to the party. Like, literally.
TED Talk.
That's exactly what it was. I'm pretty sure you said that too. So that was awesome. Okay. All right, guys, we have gone 20 minutes over, but thank you, Brittany. Thank you for showing every single person here that their excuse is not big enough and that they can make this happen regardless. Thank you, Liza. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Marissa. Sorry, I don't want to forget anyone. All right. I hope you guys have a good, happy Monday, and I will see you later. Bye.